that your information is a solution to someone's problem, then people will buy. Now, I found out this the hard way, really hard way. I had to go from one-to-one to one-to-one. I kept on hitting blocks. When I wanted to scale up online, I had to test and over, and I was doing loads of things to get clients to pay me on a monthly basis without me being there. And all I wanted was clients on automation. That's all I wanted. Clients to pay you for your information without you being there. Because you have to start one-to-one, which is what I did. But then you start thinking, how can I put it into an asset? Right? We're talking about recurring income streams. How do I put in an asset, which is an online course? Right? The reason why you want an online course is got the highest perceived value. And if you're starting and your business is under 100K, you want to put that into an information-based course so that people can buy it, get access to it, and go through it as many times as you want. And that's your delivery. Like if you can't coach someone one-to-one, it's very difficult for you to actually create an online coaching program because they're the same concept. All you're doing is the same thing. You're just doing it in recorded version. That's it. So it's exactly the same. That's why doing one-to-one is the quickest way to get started. Then you record those live sessions, bang, you've got an asset that you can run day in, day out without you being there. Now, I figured this out the hard way. I did loads of things that just didn't work. And I ended up with like a 3-step process, which I called my clients and automation method. And I got that by saying things like, how do I make a 5-year goal in less than a year? How do I create $1 million in less than a year? Because if you take 40 years to make $1 million, you're definitely not rich. And what I noticed is that most successful people online were doing things at massive scale. And I was like, wow, all you have to do is figure out exactly how do you get client lead flow? How do you get people to put your email address and phone number in? How do you then transition into a sale? And then how do you actually deliver that sale so that it's automated so you don't have to be there? So I spent 10 plus years refining this process. And when we actually did it, I went from 30,000 earnings just doing one-to-one, okay, to over $1 million in less than 7 months with a 3-step process. I replicated it over and over again, and I put it into 28 online courses in a range of different niches. So it works in health, wealth, and relationships. And people always say, does it work in this niche? And I was like, yeah, we've tested it in that. So it works. And here's the kicker, which that was amazing. Don't get me wrong. But as a byproduct, literally thousands of clients have now come through the process, from coaches in health, wealth, stress, anxiety, business, you name it, career. They literally replicated the system. As a byproduct of that, the client's automation method generates over 8 figures in revenue. It's over $1 million a month now, and it's continually scaling. I don't like to brag. I don't like to, I'm not that sort of, it's not my vibe. In the last 2 years, our methodology and our clients' businesses have scaled through the roof because of COVID. And, it's one of those things where, there were a lot of businesses that were hit through COVID. Unfortunately, and very fortunately, ours was not, because of the fact that it's completely outsourced, it's completely online, it's completely independent of any other structures out there. So really, when you look at it, it's the only recurring income stream, information and online, almost 100%, or 100%, that is completely bulletproof for the future. And so look, just a heads up, if you're in the audience and if you're a coach consultant, if you're an information-based business, just copy my 3-step process. It's called Clients and Automation. I'll even send you a digital version of it completely for free so you can see it. All right. So number one, what you need, and what I realized is you need an offer. All right. And an offer is specific to a person and a person's problem. So basically what we're doing is we're structuring the front end process so you can capture email data and phone numbers. Why do you need to do that? Because that's the asset that you need to collect. That's the asset that is the foundation to an online business. If you're not collecting email address and phone numbers, then you don't have an asset. That means you don't have a structured funnel. That means you don't have lead capture. If you don't have lead capture, that means that you're not exchanging some sort of content in order to get that, right? And so you have to have that in place today, because, like there's asset sorts of class that we're talking about. Asset on your online business, the number one asset is email address and phone number. That's the reason that WhatsApp was able to sell for 19 billion. All right, the second class of asset data is social media following. I'm not saying it's not powerful, but unless you're collecting email address and phone numbers from your social media following, you're at massive risk. Imagine your Instagram gets shut down. What are you going to do next? Imagine Clubhouse gets shut down. What are you going to do next? Imagine Like whatever social media platform that's currently generating you lead flow gets shut down, what are you going to do next? And if you don't have an answer, that means that you don't have an automated lead flow set up right now. Again, we can show you how to do that. It's not complicated, right? It's not complicated because you just follow a structure. You have to have a structured funnel, and it's one way of which people are working with you, not hundreds of ways. This is why I hate Linktree. Linktree, if you're going to your Instagram and you've got a Linktree there, there's like 1,000 things and options. No one has time to go through all of your options. No one has time to go through your traditional website and find out more about you. They don't have that sort of headspace. We live in and operate in mass overwhelm, all right? And so those that have a system that cuts through overwhelm and forces people to do one thing and one thing only, which is what a structured funnel is, right? Like my front end lead capture is a simple ad offer dialed in to a simple client with a simple problem, calling that out, and it is one piece of content exchanged. That's it, not hundreds. There's no social share, that you can't do anything else. If you see it once and that's it. And immediately it's designed in that way so that people that want that put their details in. That's fair exchange. And so the second stage you need just one piece of content that's structured in a certain way. Imagine, rather than spending all of your life on 300 pieces of content, you put all of your focus into one piece of content, structured that in a certain way. So imagine someone says, "Hey, I want to work with you," and you sent that one piece of content and that structured up the sales process, and you refined that a couple of times, which is, to be honest, which literally no one in the